Finally, we got freaking started. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. Triple M reporting in here.
All right, before we start, got a couple of things to level out here. Tyler has a new channel. Why don't you explain it?
Well, I wasn't really happy with what I did last time, so instead I'm going to be starting over new. I'm going to have my new channel, True Darkness 100 MC. That's basically going to be my Minecraft channel. I'm going to have my DDK 1000 / True Darkness 100. That's going to be for like everyday things, like vlogs and everything. So, I hope you guys can look forward to it.
Alright, and we have a guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself and your YouTube name?
Oh, we started?
Yes!
Yes, Rosemary.
I was really pissed.
Yo, world! My name is DragonFist223. I'm joining in on this webcast today.
Wonderful.
Alrighty then.
Alright, so today is a subject I just wanted to get out of the way.
We can't avoid it.
Every freaking video we mentioned something, a little tidbit about this. Today we're going to talk about graphics in the gaming world, how it was then and what it is now. And it's a big argument. And
this is going to take forever because they didn't prepare.
We just have to get this out of the way.
Script right here.
Yeah, Jimmy has a script. See, someone prepared.
No, luckily for you, I'm good with rants. So
how are you going to talk about all of this shit in 20 minutes?
It's a lot easier than you think.
Trust me.
Oh, ye of little faith. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
I'll give you that one. That was good.
Okay. So, anyway.
Today's topic is graphics,
Well,
and first
wait.
I ain't blind.
Before we start, I just want to put a little disclaimer-y thing on it. Let's
to record the Minecraft footage.
it's alright. I just wanted, we didn't really need it anyway. I just want to...
Yeah, but it's the 8-bit version.
You know what, Billy? We're just going to put it in the comments when this video is done. Let's just move on with the topic.
Yeah, I just wanted to, James, you don't even know the half of it. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that the way we're going to talk about graphics is a very modern perspective of it. I just want to point out that back in the day, graphics were something that were very new and important.
From so much.
Like when I record, like we lately in our videos, we all take turns record. We all record stuff. It's nice. It's better for my schedule. And the things I recorded were the first Mario Brothers in the NES and Mario 64. And I picked these games for a good reason. Mario 64 is a launch title for an 8-bit system, and Super Mario Brothers is a launch title for an 8-bit system, and Mario 64 is a launch title for N64. These two games, graphics helped out the gameplay a lot. Gameplay, that's the idea. And when we talk about
just the visual ecstasy.
Not back then, because graphics were able to enhance the power and graphics were able to enhance what the game felt like and did. It made games bigger. Now at this point now what we talked about, what we're talking about today is a modern look at it, where graphics don't matter anymore. They don't. It's something new. It's not new. Doesn't make anything new anymore. It just makes
for all those listening. Yes, he's still talking.
It's just making everything nicer. You say that every freaking episode.
Yeah, Rosemary. Cut the now.
Tyler, what you said was very... Why'd you slap me?
I didn't want to slap him.
Okay,
now do the other side.
So now we can get started. Jimmy, you got a script. You want to read some stuff?
Okay. Well,
He's so ready.
gamers in the past knew that the system could create the same graphics that were shown in the trailer that used, like, CGI. But nowadays, you got the PS3, the Xbox 360. People actually assume that they could do that. They could create a CG copy on the game itself, like the trailer.
Well, if I may interrupt for a second, they actually have tried it, but it failed in several occasions. Eventually, they just put the project in a backseat for it for a while. I'm pretty sure around maybe next year they're gonna bring it right back up again. But it's probably gonna be a failed experiment because they really don't have the much technology to enhance.
The technology is still not there yet. The only game that I played that was really close to CG was Gundam Extreme Versus.
Yeah, that
was a really good game. They really did a great job with the texture designs and the actual light perfection designs.
They've actually made the mobile suits look actually real, like vivid. Well, not really real, but you actually get.
They matched the HD CG trailers that were showing the openings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You know what? Something Sonic games do a lot that really piss me off is they'll put these beautiful, like Sega's really good at this. They're really good at making CGI cutscenes, but they make horrible models. Like
models, you You can actually see
Actually,
the
Billy
difference.
makes a good point because I actually see this a lot in Sega games. They'll make a good CGI video, like cinematic thing, and then the gameplay is just disappointment because they always start the game with a CGI video, and then you think, all right, the game's gonna be like that, but no, it's like 2 generations.
Yeah, like I would play like Sonic 06 is the worst example of this because the cutscenes were Final Fantasy level, and then you go.
Games like
the Princess.
Honestly, I think they should do what they always done: use the models as the action to make animations with them. You know, it just makes a lot more sense to me.
But you also have to consider in the fact that they really don't have all that much money to be doing all that extra that the gamer consumers are wanting.
Gamers, look, I'm sorry, gamers don't know what they want.
Gamers are extremely
Trust me,
picky,
they don't.
but when they actually get what they demand for, they say, "Oh, this change was bad. We want our old stuff back now."
Yeah, they want different, but when they get it, they want the
That's
same.
why on YouTube there's people like us that gets down to the nitty-gritty.
And Bickers about it.
That's why we're called.
This is my assumption, but that's why most right now I read the game before that game companies use like live action trailers instead of CGI trailers.
Yeah, I like that better.
It's my assumption that they knew that gamers would start saying, "Oh, I want the game to look exactly like that CGI trailer."
Yeah, because it disappoints you. It's not like it'll matter that much. It doesn't, but it's just disappointing. You see such beautiful, like there's a difference between art direction and graphic importance. That's why there's 2 different staffs for that. Art direction.
Again, I really don't think they put much thought into the details of the cinematic part and more interest into the game. That's what they pretty much focus all their mind power on.
Yeah,
they're more focused on the trailer instead of the game.
pretty much. Does Mad Military Man have anything to say? I haven't heard from you yet.
You know, if Mad Military Man has anything to say about
There
the
we
topics
go.
of graphics in
much
general,
better.
There we go.
about the topics of graphics in general, I mean, anyway. I have to say, I'm not really one to complain about it.
Okay.
Believe it or not, Triple M is not one to complain about graphics. I mean, he looks for the quality
Of the actual game.
you know, of the actual game, not the quality in which it is presented.
Like Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Again.
You know what? No.
I was
That-
actually dissing
Don't
Call
go
of
there.
Duty. It has good graphics, but
Yeah.
it has poor gameplay.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up.
That scuffs my boots.
I'm glad you brought that up because it did remind me there is different ways a game is made these days regarding graphics. You have a game that looks really good, but it's not that great. You have a game that looks horrible, but it's really good. Like
Hey, Billy, you mind interrupt for 2 seconds?
yeah, go ahead.
One of the game companies I thought
Stop
that
with the
did a good job
interruptions!
with balancing out the graphics on the trailer and the actual design in the game was probably the Namco Bandai games. The guys behind, you know, the Gundam series, Naruto,
Right.
you know, Bleach.
I love the
It
Naruto games.
shows
Yeah.
how
Like Bandai and
Asian.
Bandai Hasbro, they put more effort into their money. They put more effort into the games that come out because they're getting a lot more money. Because most of the games they made are based on movies.
Well, that's exactly why Hal trusted them to help them with the new Super Smash Brothers game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hal, you know, I gotta say, you know, believe it or not, you wouldn't think of it, but Hal is the best when it comes to graphics. They make great games with beautiful design. They made the best looking games for the Wii. Like Brawl looks almost HD. It's incredible what they've done.
They did. The
But in my opinion, with Smash Brothers, like the newest one, I really feel that they didn't put much effort into the smash attacks.
I know, like Pikachu's Volt Tackle. That
I'm
could be either OP
Well, it's
or extreme disadvantage.
Well, it's something new, you know. Like I'm
gonna bring up a good character. Captain Falcon, like he can use these fire attacks and everything else, but his smash is a hit and run. Like really?
well, some are better than others. You know, you know what? When you
His smash, his basic character is awesome, but his smash is literally just took a dump on it.
they'll work on it in the future.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah, graphical capabilities. Yeah, I mean, like I said, back in the day,
Back in the day, when good old days.
it's like when Sega Genesis came out, the whole idea was 16-bit. No one knew what the hell that meant. They just knew it made the graphics look better. So naturally, that was when it all. Like that's not where it started. I mean, the 2600 was a 4-bit console, and the NES was 8. No one ever mentioned it though. And then we had the Nintendo 64, which, unlike Atari, would fail with the 64 bits. Nintendo did a good job because even though Atari made a
64 was amazing.
even though the Atari Jaguar was a 64-bit console, their games were designed horribly. They looked worse than 16-bit games. It was unbelievable because they didn't know how to design for them. They didn't know how to look for it. They had when you make a powerful console, you got to think of how I can use this power to make things more advanced, to do something new. And 3D games were the thing for 64. And in the GameCube PS2 era and the Xbox, you had abilities to grab weapons from other enemies. You can interact with things you couldn't interact with a 64-bit console. And the rules become more and more realistic. And at this point, now where we are when the Wii, PS3, and 360 came out, everything was pretty much done. It's just everything looked better, and that's where we get to the point.
Very.
It's like what starts the fights. What really starts with the fights, and with and this is the cold hard truth. It really starts the fight with graphics is Nintendo's been ahead in console graphics since the Super Nintendo. And when the Wii was less powerful because Nintendo knew that not many people had HD TVs. Was it a mistake for them to decide to stick to standard definition? That's anybody's choice. But the thing is, the fact that they were finally the ones behind in graphics, that's the only reason why this crap happens. Really, it's the only reason. People complain about, it's not complaining, it's not fighting, it's just a point that for some reason people make to make their console superior. And
I can interrupt for a second, but if you actually ever think about it, Nintendo waited a long time while the PS3 and Xbox 360 was out for them to produce the Wii because they was putting much more work into it. But honestly, I can actually say they really didn't put much work into the games itself, but more into the console.
Well, yeah, I mean, motion control is something entirely new. It's a fresh idea, and that's what made Wii sell. But
certain games should not be motion control.
Well, we are straying in a different subject, but yeah, I mean, like, it's something new, you know? It's like I said with the Atari Jaguar. They didn't know how to develop for a 64-bit console. It's the same idea. When the PSI came out, that had a lot of crappy things about it. When the Kinect came out, same thing. A lot of crap games. You ever play the Star Wars game on the Kinect?
Oh my god.
Surprisingly,
that was so...
and I really was...
And coming from a Nintendo loyalist, I defended the hell out of the Kinect. I said, you know what, that's going to become something really, really cool. And, you know, games are made poorly now, but you'll see there's going to be some great hits. And you know what? There has been. The Avengers, the Ultimate Alliance game, the new fighter Ubisoft made, that came out awesome on the Kinect.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
Really
you ever played the how should I pronounce the name? Munamasa, the Demon Blade for the Wii?
No, I haven't.
I gotta admit that it's one of the best games for the Wii. A 2D game.
I gotta check that out.
One of the things about 3D graphics is that you couldn't like do really advanced animations with it.
Yeah.
You know the system's limits.
Right.
But with 2D, you could really do some really advanced designs and not worry about the system not being able to handle it or animate it. That's what Vanillaware did with the Munamasa. They designed the whole game to be like a work of art. If you ever see the trailer of a fight against the Kraken in the ocean, it looks like the whole scene came out of a Japanese painting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That
It really
really
is. It's
sounds
like a
interesting.
history lesson right there.
Reminds me of Okami.
In motion control. For me,
Who just clicked the
I'm a
Hang on, Tyler. I'm sorry, James. Go ahead.
Like I said, but certain games do not belong with motion controls. Like for instance, Jimmy knows I'm a DBZ fan. Dragon Ball Z. Don't know that.
Only fools are Dragon Ball Z fans.
So I guess I'm a fool then.
And I got like one dislike from that one nerd who was born right after Dragon, who's a GT fan.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
Billy,
don't
he's
sit
just a
out loud too
90s
much.
Of
kid.
course.
Born in 1990
Like, don't sit out loud too much.
Well, what makes fighter games look so great is because you don't have much of an environment to put in the models. You have to put more time in the models, and they look
and the moves too. Oh my god!
Like
cheat codes.
Like the remakes on the 3DS, they look gorgeous only because of the fact they have all the codes in the computer already. They just get time to smoothen everything out.
Like Ocarina out for the system.
Like I took a look at the Ocarina of Time 3D, and I took a look close up on Link. His model looks incredible. especially for a console that's a handheld that's only slightly more powerful than the GameCube, and it's just incredible. Like I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Pokemon X and Y because
I actually played the game. Like the ROM game is really, really good.
Yeah.
I just can't replace it.
An instance of gameplay.
Yeah, I'm imagining it's gonna feel like a Coliseum kind of thing.
Wait, which one?
It is.
X and Y.
Oh yeah, that's really good feeling.
That's definitely going to attract a lot of attention.
I always ask this question. I just like to hear other people's opinions. Let's start with you, Billy. What, in your opinion, all the games you've played, what do you think had the best graphics? Like any game.
Well, you're not talking about art direction, right? Just basic.
No,
graphics.
just graphics in general, for crying out loud.
That's an interesting question. I would have to say the best looking game. That's tough.
Tough question.
That is a very tough question. That's a good question, though. I really like to answer that.
Best looking game.
What about-
in my
yeah.
experience. Best looking game. One of my top ones that I've played. Best looking game would be AC3. Assassin's Creed 3.
Actually, you know what? I just thought of it. The best looking game, I have to say,
Super Mario.
which one?
The
Which
one for the
one?
Wii.
The Wii?
The one that's in the red packaging.
The Wii U one. looks
Even
a
if
lot
it's
better.
in 1D.
I like that.
I love
Who cares?
the
awesome.
a best looking
I
game.
love that game.
You know, actually, it has to be a tie between Arkham City Armored Edition and Nintendo Land. Because when I played, those are the two first games I got for the Wii U. Both of those, both of what they did with that game just blew my mind. It looked incredible. Zombie U looked really good too, but I don't own it. What about you, Greg?
You know, I mean, as I said, I don't really look at the graphics like in general, but you know, I like the Mercenaries series, and I also like, I think was it yes, that's the one. Thank you. It was the Sniper Elite V2. That's a game with nice graphics. See, that's a game. That's a sniper shooting game, a military sniper shooting game that does not scuff my boots, because you actually have to adjust for windage. You have to,
Finally,
you know,
something that doesn't scuff his boots.
it does not scuff my boots.
It's funny because it's
You know what I'd like to do right now? I'd like to give some examples of some games. Like it just shows how the modern perspective on graphics really aren't like it's just for looks now, and it's not a bad.
Low graphic games with good gameplay or good graphic games with
Either or,
She's
like
so adorable.
it's not a bad thing. I mean, if you want to make a game look good. By all means, make it look as good as possible. But it's like there's some games just not. It's not all that necessary. If the game's good and you know what's going on, that's all that matters. Like let's take Sonic Unleashed. When that game came out, both the fans and the critics, which is really rare, both put the Wii version at a higher rating than at 360 and PS3 version. Because it had, unlike the look, it had different gameplay mechanics, and it was really impressive on how the different styles of games can affect someone's opinion, even though it has the same story arc and ideas. And another example, I think, is the best example. It's a terrible looking game, but it made a cult following unlike anything. Xenoblade Chronicles.
I never played that game, but
the game does not look that great, but it is just. It's boss.
it's just amazing to play. Really.
It's Nintendo's Final Fantasy. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
I love Kingdom.
You're right.
The sequels
Into that.
the sequels in Japan right now, people are fighting for it. A 420p game, people are fighting for. Like that just shows, you know.
I have to say, in my opinion, a lowbrow game that was actually really good would be Ashura's Wrath. I heard so much reviews about it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna decide.
I remember watching Ashura's Wrath.
It's a really, really, really good game. It's like
I played the demo.
Are you giving up or something, or do you have a strategy?
That's cool.
Like, it's about this demigod named Ashura, and he's pretty much a combination of what you think Goku and Kratos would be.
That's cool.
Put them together.
It is.
Wow, I just got that image in my head.
Did it not give you a rager?
I know, yeah. It's like, whoa. Wow.
And what really makes him so good, when he gets seriously mad, he forms 4 other appendages, and then he just goes really rage.
You know,
It's,
what
was the game?
It sounds to me like something that describes like
He was basically a berserker class of the gods.
You know, I gotta say, like, this sounds like a mix where, like, after he's done doing his thing, you know, it's like he walks out of the smoke going "fuck yeah," you know. I think of the "fuck yeah" meme, you know, like "fuck yeah."
I'm sure his background character is Buddha. You know, the Asian god.
Yeah.
Like basically, his background is Buddha.
Cool.
Like
I like games like that.
Like in some cases, a Buddha would be called the six-armed man. That's what pretty much he's called. For obvious reasons.
You know what? I want to say I do want to give an example of a not so great game that looks really good, but I have a feeling people are going to kill me for saying this.
What?
All right.
What?
Get ready.
Tell me.
Get ready for the all right, watch that red
Who cares?
all right, watch the dislike red bar go up because I'm going to say this. A game that looks really good to me, but I just didn't think it was that great of a game was Braid.
What?
I said it. I said it.
I don't even.
The game everyone describes
You're so
as
homosexual.
the game.
I said it. I said it.
The game everyone described as perfect and genius.
Wait, what is? I never even heard of this.
Braid. It's an indie game.
Indie
Game
game?
Grumps. Game Grumps talk about it, like all the time. They're like, "Oh, it's the most genius game ever." No, it's not. It's a ripoff of
We
Mario.
have Game Grumps on our asses, really?
It's a Mario ripoff. It's a Mario and Prince of Persia hybrid
No idea
ripoff,
what's going
and it's
on.
just uninteresting. Like the story's is explained through text, which is kind of boring, and and like I get the idea, and the puzzles are cool and all. But I lost interest after like the 4th level, and then it looks really good. It has an interesting art style, and I can really admire the work they put into it. But just not for me. And the cult following it, I don't know. I think it's because kids like indie. I think kids like indie games.
Caliber crisis right there.
Yeah. I mean Limbo.
So crazy.
Oh my
The Soul
God, I
Calibur
love
dilemma.
Limbo.
Now Limbo, that's a game. Now that's an indie game that was brilliant and didn't have to put that much in the graphics. They had a silhouette style. It had its style and it looked really good. Great art direction.
Oh, you know what game that I saw that the Yardcats play, an indie game?
What?
It I think it was. It basically you had to like. It's basically you can move based on your move, like on your view, like your observation. Like so you had to choose different angles to get through different paths. Like this little guy, depending on how far away you are or how close you are, he gets bigger and smaller. You have to go through puzzles, and it's God, someone help me, please. I know what it's called, but at the same time I can't think of it.
Wait,
Sorry,
what do you
no
mean?
help here. I don't remember.
It's
Is
like
it
a
a
point
name?
of
It'll
view,
probably
but
help a little
it's
bit.
not the name.
Well, think of it quick because we're under the minute mark now.
Okay.
Oh,
Look at
God.
that.
Perspective?
Look at that. We talked about everything.
Perspective, yes, that's it.
Perspective.
That's the name of the
Oh,
game.
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great indie game that I found that I really want to play.
Hey, would you look at that? We actually talked about everything we wanted to cover in the whole video. You hear that, Rosemary? Isn't that great?
Well,
Yeah, that
anyway,
picture.
guys, I think that's the end of the video now.
Yeah, we're
yeah.
pretty much out of time. We actually have a minute, so we can actually have a nice, clear saying goodbye this time.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Someone wants food.
Hope y'all viewers love this video.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We hope, James. We'd like you to return sometime. I put you down as a guest now, but I'd like to put you down as a permanent member next time.
Whenever you have a show, just let me know.
Sounds great.
Almost every Wednesday.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That works for me.
All right.
All right.
So goodbye, everyone.
All right,
Mad
see you
Military
later.
Man reporting out.
Drago 90, I'm out.
See you later,
Dragonface out.
Darklings.
Bye.